Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of the 321 recommendation series brought to you by Diverse Dialogues with Arjun. Actually, recorded this episode a few days back, and I did the entire setup. I set up my headphone, my microphone, and I did the test recording also. And then I recorded, and I talked for around 30 to 40 minutes. And I actually felt like, it's a good episode. But after that, I closed all of my documents and then I ended the recording. And when I went to the software, it is not there only. So I'm literally re-recording this entire stuff. And so I've been away for a while now, and I've been very regular because I've been caught up with a lot of college work, and as some of you guys know, I'm part of a band called Pain Protocol. We are a progressive rock based band in Delhi NCR, and recently we had our commercial show at EP04, which turned out to be a huge success. So for a couple of weeks now, I've been very busy with the show, preparing the songs and jamming with the band. So I've been very away, and I was very busy in a way that I also did not have any mental energy because there was a lot of stuff going on. So yes, that was my justification. Hope it's good. So now I also want to tell you that I'm trying to do something different from this episode, where I just have the recommendations written in front of me, but I actually haven't written a proper script. So whatever I'm speaking right now, it's coming on the spot, and this is a way to challenge myself also, and this is a way to create better podcasts in a way, and also be actually comfortable with talking on the mic. So yes. So before starting, I just wanted to let you know that I'm planning to release a deep dive of these recommendations as a blog post on Substack. It's an up and coming writing platform, sort of, I guess. And I'm thinking that this will also be a way for the people who are listening to go to another social media platform where I'm uploading stuff, and this way I can also try to develop a viewership. So I'll leave the links below, and you can follow me there also, and hopefully in some days you can see a deep dive of this episode also over there. So yes, let's get right into the recommendations. So I feel like right now I'm in that phase of life where I am in a bit of a low mental energy. There's honestly not much hype inside me to watch movies or watch a lot of energetic shows or stuff. I think for this episode, even the recommendations are a bit mellow, and I guess you will find that as we're going ahead. So coming to the music recommendations for this episode, the first song is by a very popular band called Porcupine Tree. I actually started listening to Porcupine Tree about 2 years ago when I freshly became a part of my band, and we were exploring new music and trying to find inspiration for our songs. And Porcupine Tree is a big pillar of strength for our band and our sort of music that we listen to regularly. So yes, if I'm not wrong, apparently the fan of Porcupine Tree are called Treeheads. So if you're not a treehead yet, but you want to be a treehead, so this is your way to be a treehead. And the song recommendation is Arriving Somewhere But Not Here. So this song talks about the daunting feeling of not knowing where we are or where we are headed to. And it talks about the process of getting to a place and how that process changes us as a person. And it's a very heavy song in a way, and it takes you through a musical journey. And I really love Porcupine Tree, and it's really close to my heart in a way. And in the mellow mood that I am right now in life, I feel like this is a good song. And if at all you also feel like you're in a low mood or you want to discover new music, this is the song to go to. So now coming to the second song, I'm actually taking a step back from the mellow mood, and I think this is the song that I listen to when I'm really low, but I really need energy to socialize or something, so I go for this song. So the song mixes Malayalam folk with alternative rock, and I still cannot believe that this song was released 17 fucking years ago, and still can't process that. And as some of you might have guessed, this is by the famous, the OG Aviel, and the song's name is Nada Nada. It talks about resilience and moving forward, and it's such a catchy song. And I honestly can't believe that these guys had crazy patches and crazy orchestration of their songs, and they were ahead of their time. At least that is what I believe. And I'm really glad that Aviel is finding more and more audience as the generations are going by. So, yes, that is my second recommendation. So, now for the third song, I just want to introduce an artist also to my audience. There is this artist called Sudan. I've been listening to his songs for the past 6 months, and recently I even got the chance to go to his show in Delhi, which is part of their tour named the Bad Posture Tour. And the songs by Sudan feels like a very comfortable blanket. I just love his music, and if you are having a low-key week, I honestly urge you guys to check out Sudan's album, which is also named as Sudan with a question mark. So the song recommendation that I would like to give you guys is Honest by Sudan. And there's a lot of detailing that goes behind the songs, I feel. And it really takes you through a journey. And I really love that. And I really love the songs that this artist is producing. And after the show which happened in Delhi, I even got the chance to talk to him briefly and get pictures with him. So that's cute, I guess. So yes. So now coming to the next section, which is movie/interview/video recommendations. I just want to give you guys a heads up. As I told before, I am not in a mental space where I can watch a lot of movies or get into the high energy, high pace shows that are going on right now. So this time I'm not recommending any movies. Instead, I'm trying to recommend a few YouTubers and their episodes that I watched recently. It's sort of like a interview and deep dive into their lives. And recently I feel like these are kind of the videos that I find myself gravitating towards. And so yes, let's get on with the suggestion. So the first one is an episode that the YouTube channel called Chalchitra Talks did with Kenny Sebastian. So what do Chalchitra Talks do is they have this new series going on. I mean, it's not new, it's been going on for a while, called The Longest Interview. Kenny Sebastian is one of the biggest inspirations for me as to why I started my podcast. And even he has a podcast which not a lot of people know about, which is called the Simple Ken Podcast. And I just really love the way he talks and the way he interacts with the guests that come over, and even the topics that he has brought in this particular episode of Chalchitra Talks. I think I've been following their work closely since the lockdown time, when they were just budding as a YouTube channel, and they were doing a lot of good content, but I feel like the viewership was fairly low. So I've been following their work from that time itself. And in this particular episode, yes, there are a lot of recommendations, which happens as the part of their longest interview. And in this, there were some topics that really resonated with me. And in a way, it is sort of something that I am also battling with right now. So in this episode, Kenny Sebastian and Vaibhav talked about the current trend of alpha males or sigma males that is coming up in our social media, in our feeds. And suddenly there is this shift towards toxic masculinity, where I feel like this trend was there a couple of years back, but I feel like somewhere this trend is coming back, where men are expected to be sort of badass, or sort of be nonchalant and toxic. And the feeds that I can see in a lot of people right now is in a way that you have to be nonchalant in order to get baddies, and all of those narratives that are going on. And they really had a deep dive about this very topic in this episode. And I really love how they broke down this false narrative that has been, changing people or influencing people in a negative way, and how people are going away again from the sort of empathetic and caring aspect. And I feel like on a personal level, I'm also sort of battling these narratives in my head, where I'm trying to find a balance between being there for people or being there for friends, while at the same time, I'm also learning and unlearning how to give more priority to myself and how to develop this sort of self care routine and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of us in our upbringing have been brought up to put other people before us and care for other people. And in a way, if we don't find the right boundary, we also get into that space where we get walked over by other people and we are just there for the people and they take that aspect for granted. And I've also noticed that in the time I was growing up, there were a lot of times when I have also done a lot of stuff for a friend or lot for a friend group, and then I started to develop expectations where I wanted stuff back because I am there and I am caring and I am showing that empathy. And when I used to not receive it back, I used to feel very hurt and I used to keep that grudge. But I'm sort of unlearning that and working on it myself also to, understand that yes, this is a part of me where I am caring and I am trying to be empathetic. But at the same time, we also have to give priority to our feelings and whatever state we are in. And I feel like that will be a lifelong learning, and I will still keep evolving and exploring things. There will be a lot of ups, there will be a few downs, hopefully. And I feel like that's necessary for everyone in a way, because that helps us to understand the way the world is, the way the trends are right now. I feel like a lot of people around us are going through similar experiences. And in this phase, the best thing to understand or the best thing to realize is that we are not alone in this process. There's a lot of people who've been brought up to keep other people above themselves. And that sort of leads to issues like anxiety, or in certain unfortunate cases, even can lead to depression and issues like that. And I feel like this is something that has to be talked about. And I am also planning to record an episode on this, maybe with a guest or maybe as a solo episode, because I feel like even I want to explore this topic and sort of discuss that with you guys also. And maybe you guys can give me feedbacks on how the episode is or what you guys feel. And if you guys also have any questions or any facts that you would like to add on to that certain topic or for the subsequent episodes that we are going to have, I feel like I can add that, and maybe that will also help to keep this podcast a bit more interactive. And I feel like that has been my plan all along. I want to keep it in a way that it's audience centric also, but at the same time I have that freedom and that I have that opportunity to talk about the topics that I am interested in and sort of introduce the stuff that I watch or the stuff that influence me. So yes, I feel like all of you should really go and watch this episode. I'll leave a link to the episode below, and definitely check it out. Love it. Okay, so now coming to the second recommendation. This is also a YouTube video, and this is also again from one of my biggest inspirations to start this journey of content creation, or trying to realize that okay, I also have some ideas, I also have some creativity in me, and I feel like I also can explore this path. And this artist is Matt Diavella, and he was basically a US based YouTuber, and now he's recently shifted to Australia. And he is one of the biggest authentic content creators that I have seen personally. And the way he creates his videos, the way he curates his content, it's really something that I try to study and I try to take inspiration from. And he's also the director of the trending minimalism documentaries that were released on Netflix recently. So I feel like his work has really, really influenced me in a way, and his way of storytelling, particularly, is very interesting, and at the same time, it just connects. So, coming to the recommendation part, the video that I really found myself going back to is a video titled Why I Disappeared. So, for those of you who don't know Matt, he, as I said, shifted from US to Australia. And also in this process, he got married. He had started a business, but he started to downsize the employees working in that business. And in this particular video, he was talking about the break that he had to take because of family, because of his child growing up. And in this video, he also talked about losing his unborn child. And for the past couple of years, I've seen him create good quality and professional content. But it is maybe in this year that I am seeing a phase of Matt where he is vulnerable in front of the camera. And him being something of a coach figure for me, it's an interesting take, or it is an interesting phase that I can see in him. And he's very vocal with his experience about taking therapy and about his experience of losing his child and how his family has suffered and what his family has been going through because of all of that. And it is something that I also personally love, where if I'm creating a content or if I'm putting out something for people to watch, or even if I'm uploading it to the internet just to satisfy myself, I really do want to keep it as natural as possible, as uncurated as possible, in a way that it's not that filtered or it's not for a specific set of audience. And him trying to be vulnerable and also sharing his experiences made me also very emotional, and made me also realize that okay, someone in that sort of a stature in life also has very humane problems. And as stupid as it sounds, you seldom understand the struggles that people are going through or the struggles that people face, even though you meet them on a regular basis, even if they act all positive or happy or hyper. And I feel like a lot of people distract themselves through this positivity, and they distract themselves, or they distract the sorrows that they have in that phase. I feel like a lot of people do try to mask their feelings. And recently, a friend told me that you can never see a person and guess what all struggles they are going through. And seldom on social media, when people put out content, you tend to not see, and obviously, they are also not showing you exactly the sorrows that they have, because it's the internet and it's their personal choice. And obviously, there is a bare truth that people gravitate towards happier content in a way, and the other extreme is they go towards videos that promote violence or misogyny or homophobia. And these sort of trends are again coming to the feeds of social media. It's being promoted through the algorithms, unfortunately. And I feel like all of these topics are something that I really want to talk about. And I feel like in the subsequent episodes, with the exposure that I get and with the kind of material that I read or go through, I will have a chance to talk about this and gain more knowledge, and then come and talk to you guys about it, or even discuss with a guest who has more knowledge than me in this, and sort of try to have a heart to heart conversation and then bring that conversation to the internet for you guys. So these were the two interview slash video recommendations that I had for this week. And now, coming to the last segment, which is an interesting recommendation of a website, software, something like that. Before I introduce this segment's recommendation, let me introduce you to the sponsor for this video. No, I'm just kidding. We do not have a sponsor yet. But if you own a brand, or if you want to collaborate through the show by any means, please do send me a message. And this podcast also has an Instagram page. You can search it up by typing Diverse Dialogues with Arjun. And please do follow the Instagram page as well. So yes. So now, coming to this week's interesting recommendation. It's a quirky website that I recently found, which has random games. So the website is titled neil.fun. I'll add the link in the description below. You can check it out. And this website has random games like trying to spend Bill Gates' money, or like absurd trolley problems, or just random questions to solve. So if you're bored in the class, or if you're wanting to get some inspiration to sleep, I urge you guys to check out this website. It's really fun. And I guess that brings us to the end of this episode. Again, I would like to remind you all that I am trying to write on Substack, and I've already uploaded a few posts, so you guys can go and check that out if you'd like. And there's a lot of episodes that are being cooked. I'm finding inspiration and I'm trying to create a brief script for these episodes, and obviously we do need time. Right now we have our assignment week going on, so I'm a little busy in that also. So again, things do happen in everyone's life, and stuff is happening in mine as well. So it might take a bit of time for the next episode, or it might come very fast. We never know. It depends on how much time do I get and how much mental space do I have. So thank you for understanding that. And on that note, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. It's something different that I tried. I did not have a script, as I told before. And whatever I've talked, it could have been a little bit here and there. I might have gone away from the topic and had come back to it. And I'm also trying to work on this. I'm also trying to communicate better through the mic, and try to bring more heart-to-heart conversations and more on-the-spot sort of conversations that I have with my friends or I have with my guests, and bring that out to you guys with very less cutting out of parts or very less of curating specifically. Diverse Dialogues with Arjun is available on all the major audio platforms including YouTube, JioSaavn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Prime Audio, and much more. And if you have any feedback or any suggestion, you can get back to me on Instagram, and you can also mail me. This is your host Arjun, and I will see you guys for the next episode. Bye bye.